set my flag over here. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to address this issue that he's got of wanting to move his feet when I go to mount. Okay, that's you know, I've got these what I call the 10 commandments of the ranch horse. All right, and standing perfectly still to be saddled and mounted is one of those commandments, and that's an absolute deal breaker. I just don't put up with a horse that wants to move their feet, okay, and be restless when it's time to get mounted or put the saddle on, or for the farrier for that matter. Okay, they need to. A horse will stand perfectly still all day long, standing in the shade. Okay, so there's no reason that they can't stand perfectly still while we do these things. I understand that they sort of make them uncomfortable, but the only way that they're going to be comfortable is if we teach them to be comfortable. All right, so that's what we're going to do right now. Okay, now I want to add this little caveat to this whole deal. This is about the only time that I will totally disengage a horse's hindquarters, okay, from the ground. I usually just don't have the need to do it, and I feel like it's counterproductive in most situations. But you're going to see in this situation, it's kind of a necessity, okay? So, and I got to give props to Chris Cox. I totally learned this from a Chris Cox video years ago. That guy's just a top hand, and this is one of the things that I learned from him, okay, just by watching a video. It's pretty simple principle, really, but it's very effective. So first thing I like to do, especially on a colt that's as tall as this one, is I like to let my near side stirrup way out, just so it's easier for me to do all this, okay, because I might have to throw my leg up there off and on several times. Okay, so I just let that stirrup way out. I use a flat bottom stirrup. I typically, if y'all know me, I ride a lot of oxbows, but for this exercise, I want a flat bottom stirrup, okay, because I don't want to get hung up getting up and down off of this colt. All right, so I'm just going to start off the same way that I would, and I just use my halter with the longer lead rope. Okay, I got about a 10-foot or so lead rope up right here. All right, and I'm not going to put the snaffle bit on him. If I was to put the snaffle bit, I'd need some kind of a Macati or something, all right, that I can use to flag him around with. I'm just going to mount as I normally would. Okay, attempt to mount as I normally would. All right, you see he's moved his feet right there, and so I'm going to get that rear end going. All right, okay, when he stops and calms down, I pet him on the neck, I reach up here, and I go to mount again, and he moves those feet, I move them. Okay, let's do that one more time. There we go. There we go. I kind of want him to straighten all the way up, move that hip all the way away from me. Okay, I'll come right back in here. He moves those feet. Just going to step down. He wants to get on top of me, so I got to get that shoulder away. Okay. These big goofy colts want to do that. They want to shoulder into you. Next thing you know, you're going to get stepped on, so you got to be careful. Okay. You don't necessarily have to whack them on the butt. He's a little bit too close, and so he's getting tapped on the butt with my rope. It's not the end of the world. Okay, this method's tried and true there. Okay, now that's one of the 5 principles right there. Okay, I put my foot up there, and he didn't move, so I got to be willing to compromise. So I get out of there, I pet him on the neck, tell him good boy, and lead him around for a minute. And honestly, yesterday this was a really bad problem. Okay, he was really squirting around and wanting to get out from underneath me. Today it's not as bad, but typically this will only require 1 session of doing this. Okay, 2 at the most. I've never had a horse that was so bad about this that I couldn't get it fixed in 2 sessions. All right, I'm not saying that your horse won't be worse. Maybe it's going to take you 4 or 5, but I am saying that it is 100% successful. I've never had this fail me. Just stay consistent with it and it'll work. All right. The important thing is you don't get on while they're moving their feet. Okay. Start this over again. Constantly being beckoned for something around here. But anyway, I just want to be real deliberate. I don't want to sneak around. I want to kind of, you know, And if he adjusts his feet to pick up my weight, that's okay. Okay, I want to make that clear right there. That horse did step, but he didn't step away from me and he didn't try to get away. He was just adjusting his feet to carry my weight. Okay, I feel like that's the truth anyway. So I'm going to give him every opportunity. I don't want to punish him, okay, for doing what he thinks he needs to do. All right, but like right there, he's walking away from me. So I'm going to hustle those feet around, okay? All the way around, I'm going to pet him, tell him good boy, okay? Right there, when you move those feet. There, okay? Be willing to compromise, all right? He didn't move those feet that time, so I'm going to reward him for that. Now I'm getting some mouth action out of him. I'm really encouraged by that. And you can see here why I would use a flat stirrup and why I would let it weigh out, okay? And why you need a long lead rope to do this. All right. That's real good right there, real good. So I'll just stay right there for just a second, kind of rock him around, give him the opportunity to move his feet. He's not, so it's real good, real good. All right. Always pet him when you come right here and tell him, hey, I'm no threat to you. I'm not going to do anything that is going to hurt you. All right. Now when you get here this time and he doesn't move his feet, go ahead and step up. If he moves his feet, get down, kick that hip around, okay? Try to be as smooth and quick as possible right there. Okay, I was kind of choppy right there that time. Use that step down. Okay, if he starts to get kind of fractious to that, then reassure him, come back up here and pet him. All right, tell him, hey, I'm not going to do that unless you won't stand still for me. All right. Try to be smooth. Okay. Right there. Pet him, tell him good boy. And sometimes this will get worse before it gets better. Okay, but just remember just to stay consistent with it. All right, so kind of. You're going to see all this take shape here in just a minute. Real good, real good. Good job, buddy. Good job, partner. You might say, well, Richard, how come you don't just go ahead and do this the very first time you get on them? And there's a reason, because I don't want to elevate their blood pressure any more than I have to on that first ride, okay? And I don't feel like typically I don't need to address this walking off thing on those first couple of rides. It's typically it comes on later on, and so I don't make a big deal out of that mounting procedure. I don't make it any bigger of a deal than I have to. Okay, I want them real comfortable with it. I don't want them to feel like they're getting chastised or punished during that mounting procedure. Okay, I can always come back later on and clean that up, which is exactly what I'm doing. All right, now he wants to block me from getting over there, but he's doing really good, really good. He's learning this. Okay. Good job, buddy. Okay, now he's moving those feet. So I'm just gonna hustle him around right there. All right. Good boy. You see him trying to block me from getting over there with his head? Okay, that's real typical. That's real typical. I'm gonna straighten this saddle up a little bit. I'm actually going to take another wrap with it. I think I'm out of holes. There we go. Don't cut them in two. And I never like to take 2 wraps up there on top. I really don't, especially if I'm going to ride one, but we're just doing something real specific right here. So, all right, so that's real nice and quiet. Go ahead and step on up here. That's real nice and quiet. That's real good. Real good. Good job, buddy. Good job, partner. All right, and walk him off. I always make sure to untrack those feet and walk them off, okay, when they've done good. This time I'm going to throw my leg over, okay. He wants to block me from getting over there on that side, okay, that's okay. Just going to wait for him to chill out with that for a second. There I'm getting some mouth action. He's grinding his teeth a little bit. Swing up there this time. Good boy, good boy, good boy. Good job, buddy. Get up here and slop around a little bit. Okay. Let him feel all that. There, he thought about moving his feet right there when I went to get off, but he didn't. We're going to do this one more time, okay? And this is where we're going to quit. All right, I want to make sure that this is solid. And if it is, we're going to quit him right here for today. And then I'll come back tomorrow and I'll put him in the snaffle bit and stuff and ride him tomorrow. Today, we just want to overcome this barrier right here. That's all we want to do today, okay?